The Lakers put Rui Hachimura on Jokic and allowed Anthony Davis to be the rover on defense. The adjustment nearly brought the Lakers all the way back, but the Nuggets were able to hold it together and prevail. Jay, how will the Nuggets adjust to this in game two?
Do people think Nikola Jokic has never had a 6'7" forward guard him? Do they think he's never run into a team that has put a power forward on him and had a
Uh,
shot blocker roaming? Do people think that he's really not going to solve the Rui Hachimura problem? Like,
Rui, the Joker
are
stopper.
people
That's what
kidding
they
me?
call him.
That's
I
right.
could not I could not believe the discourse after game one because Jokic had a few bad plays against that strategy. Like, do you people really think the MVP is going to let Rui Hachimura just take him out of everything? And granted, the bigger piece of that strategy is having Anthony Davis at the rim as a second
Yeah.
layer of protection, and that's where the Nuggets need to approach it better. They need to find a way to punish the Lakers for having Davis sag off Aaron Gordon and be at the rim. But they've seen this stuff before. The Celtics do it with Grant Williams and have Rob Williams floating behind him. The 76ers have done it with PJ Tucker with Embiid at the rim. And both of those teams have had mild success, but it's mild and it's fleeting because this Denver offense is fantastic and they have solutions for just about everything. So if I'm Denver, I wouldn't be too worried about that at all. I would make a few minor spacing adjustments to to use Gordon as a screener, to use him as a slasher, to get him to punish Anthony Davis and use that strategy to open up guys for three, whether it's Caldwell Pope or Murray or Porter Jr. And the big piece after the first game to me is, can the Nuggets stop the Lakers? And because I think the Nuggets are going to score in this series, they're going to score against anyone. That offense is just unbelievable. But for the first quarter, first half, maybe they were playing defense and then they just stopped. And I don't know whether it was because they let off the gas because they were up so much or whether they're going to have significant problems with this Lakers team. We'll see, but they need to play much better defense moving on than they did in game one.
Yeah, I agree with what Bruce Brown said. I forget if it was after the game or the day after. And somebody asked him why so many people are down in Denver. He was like, yeah, because they don't watch us. And I think a lot of these people who think Rui Hachimura is like Ben Wallace, all of a sudden, I'm going to let y'all in on something. Whatever strategy you think works on Jokic, he's going to fry you. Whether you put a small dude on him, big dude on him, you switch, you front the post, you double him. It doesn't matter what you try to do against Jokic. He will figure it out, and he will make you look silly. And I think if they try to throw Rui Hachimura on him for 40 minutes this next game, he's going to make that man look bad. And that's just why Joker is one of the most dominant bigs we've ever seen in this game, because he can find a way to be effective against every coverage, and he has the mind to read what you're doing and figure it out within the snap. So, if anything, I thought it's crazy as the numbers looked at the end of the game. I thought AD did a decent job against them, at least when they played half court. I think the biggest issue was Jokic was just flat out playing harder than AD during that first half. You saw him a few times just sprinting past AD. Now, Jokic his sprint doesn't look like everybody else's sprint, but he was sprinting there in the first half, and he was beating AD down the court. He had 20 rebounds in the first quarter or something like that. I think that's the big thing. AD needs to match Jokic's effort during the start of game two to kind of match that and give them a better chance. Of course, AD started hitting shots, and that gave the Lakers a better chance. But I think whatever strategy you try to use against Jokic, he'll figure it out. The biggest thing is always, what are you doing with Jamal Murray? What are you doing with Michael Porter Jr.? Can you find a way to play Aaron Gordon off the court? I think like Jay said, that's the one good thing about the strategy is maybe they'll get Aaron Gordon off the court if AD can kind of lurk around the rim. But still, I think Aaron Gordon is capable of knocking down those corner threes and forcing AD to come out the paint. It's just a matter of them switching up what they are doing. So, yeah, I think the Nuggets are still the big time favorite in this series. I think, some of the shots the Lakers were knocking down in that fourth quarter, I'm not sure if they can keep that up consistently. Austin Reeves catching fire the way he did. I think the best thing they can hope to do is turn this into a half court game, force the Nuggets to walk it up the court, maybe trick Jamal Murray into trying to play in some hero ball. But yeah, if you're thinking that you're going to trick Jokic or, convince him that he can't dominate, I promise it will not work.
Yeah. This is what's insane to me. Everybody is so pro Lakers that they do this Rui Hachimura thing. That's all anybody wants to talk about is this Rui adjustment. Nikola Jokic had 34, 21, and 14 in this game. If anybody on the Lakers had that, we wouldn't talk about anything else. We would talk about nothing else. But because it was Nikola Jokic and it was the Nuggets, nobody's talking about it. It is absolutely insane. It's insane. He was 12 of 17 from the field. You know what the adjustment could be? Shoot more and score 50 and have a triple-double. Nikola Jokic, that's what you could do.
Numbers. He had those numbers with a bad fourth quarter. He didn't really do much in the fourth quarter. Still had 34, 20, and 14. So that tells you just how dominant he was in that game.
And he did it against the guy everyone was proclaiming the best defender in the world, and Anthony Davis. And he cooked Anthony Davis to the extent that they were like, nah. Let's see what Rui's got.
We gotta try Rui.
Let's see.
We're so pro Lakers that we give the Lakers half a win after that game's over. It's like, you know what? I think the Lakers go. Lakers in 6 probably.
My favorite part of this series so far is just how spicy Mike Malone has been.
Yeah.
Did you see his quote about D'Angelo Russell? Like, what's the storyline? D'Angelo Russell's been playing pretty well, and we played him off the court. And it's like, oh man, that's how you feel, Mike Malone. That's how you feel where you're out there, not only just thinking this, but saying this publicly in your press conference. Mike Malone has a chip on his shoulder right now, and he thinks his team is awesome. And you can tell by the way that he talks how crazy he's talking right now, how reckless he's talking right now. He believes in this team to the fullest. He doesn't care how much of a target he puts on their back. He thinks they're up to it. And you could tell. And he's always like that a little bit. He's a fierce competitor, you could tell. But man, I've never seen a coach be like, yeah, we played that dude off the court. Why aren't you asking me about that?
So good.
If I had Joker in my corner, I'd be talking spicy too. I'll tell you that much. I'd be feeling real good about myself. But no, I love Michael Malone too, because he's one of the few dudes left in the league who will just kill his team in post game. He'll come out and say they played soft. He'll say they didn't deserve to win. And so many of these coaches are scared to say anything about their team. You'll see Michael Malone calling timeouts during the game. He's just disgusted with his team. I love everything about what he brings personality-wise. And they need that fire because we know Jokic is such a laid-back dude. And I think Malone brings them some of that fire that they need. So, yeah, I completely agree with Andrew. Everybody's, jumping on the Lakers train because they had that one good quarter at the end. I think the Nuggets probably cruise in game 2.